Hey, what's up? In this video, I'll be making this chopping board. I'm learning how to do chopping boards for my brand Scabello. And these are just some photos of the products that we've built and hand painted. This was the second chopping board I ever made, so I am by no means an expert in making chopping boards. But I'm trying to expand my skills. I want to eventually be an expert, so I hope you enjoy the process. So into the video, let's go. So I'm gonna make a chopping board for my auntie. Second video on my YouTube channel. Let's pick out some random woods. So I got these pieces of wood. I'm gonna make it 300 by 200 by about 25 in depth, let's say. Just bought my new wood thinner. So let's turn this shit into something. So this big piece I'm cutting is gonna be the majority of the board. It's around 30 millimeters in depth. So I'm now setting up to cut off one side so that the inside grain is showing. I then flip the board around so that both sides have the inside grain shown. One side still has the outside grain shown, so I needed to make the cut again. Once that was finished, it was on to the next pieces of the board. The following cuts consisted of me making the depth of these pieces of wood approximately 30 millimeters so that they're the same depth as the big piece I just cut. If none of this makes sense, I didn't make it very clear, but it will make more as the video goes on. I have cut my stuff approximately to the right width. Hopefully, quick little measure, 220. So now what I'm doing is I am cutting the lengths of the pieces to the right length. So most of these pieces weren't the correct length of 300 millimeters. I know this camera angle is terrible, so I'll edit most of the cuts out of it. So the lengths are about the same, so it'll be easy to glue together. Now I'm going to put them through the planer. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cut the outer grain sides with the wood thinner. Never used the wood thinner before. Let's pray this all goes well. Okay, I got it ready. These pieces through the planer so it comes out 90. But they didn't really come out, I don't know, I think my planer's a bit fucked. See, there's like gaps, little mini gaps in there and they're not all straight. But I'll do my best, try to fix all that. Glue ups is always a pain in the ass and I hate this part the most. Mostly because I suck at it and it was a struggle. I couldn't get some of the pieces of the board to stay down, so I had to use a hammer. That didn't work, as you see here. So I had to use these clamps instead and pray that it all stayed even, which we will see that it didn't. Alright, 1 hour's gone past and look how fucked up the glue is. Next time I glue it up, it's got to be much better because that is horrific. But we'll just make it thinner so it's like that and then you won't be able to see it. Got some great news. Sanded it down to get rid of the glue. Then I put it through the wood thinner. Still learning how to use the wood thinner. Surprisingly, this is what it looks like. Right, look at this. It's nearly perfectly straight. I didn't think it would plan that nice. It still needs some sanding, but much better than before. Before it was atrocious. First gonna sand it down with a 40, then I'm gonna sand it down with a 120, then a 240, then a 400, then a 800, then a 1500, and then a 2000. It'll look nice after that, trust me. I'm gonna do this off camera because sanding's a bit boring for the viewer, and it's raining outside, so let's go. I'm gonna turn this into, dang, I think it looks the same. I didn't realize the wood would be this ugly. There's a bit of green there and it doesn't look nice. But I put it through the planer, sanded it down to 1500. It's just super smooth, oh my gosh. You could chop your fucking head on that, whatever that means, but it's super smooth. Alright, so now it's time to get both sides of the board equally straight. This is a jig. I use this jig I made. Set the blade to 45 degrees and raise it super high so that I can cut a chamfer on both sides of the board. My table saw definitely does not like this. I got a lot of burn marks as the brown wood's very hard to cut. So, this is what it looks like right now. I mean, I can fix it up, sand it nice there, sand it nice there. Once again, I'm going to skip the sanding process. Partly because it's boring to watch, but I also want to listen to music. That's my sanding job and I made those sides much better. It's looking pretty good. It's pretty much the finished product, but just that green there. I don't know how to get, I use shitty wood. But I sanded it down to 2000. Everything sanded down to 2000. Look how nice that is. Feels nice. That's the main thing. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is initials. Initials I'm doing is ND. What we're going to need for the initials is chopping board, bang. Clamps. Clamps? What are you talking about? Stencil? Stencil? A Dremel? When I say I use a Dremel, I've never really engraved before. I'm a new guy. I've done it a couple of times. So I started to engrave. The stencil was not working, so I decided to grab a pen and go by eye. That's one thing I need to work on, definitely. I know there's a lot of things I need to work on, but the engraving, ND. So I stuffed up there. Just gonna have to leave it. And the ND looks like a child wrote it. But from far away, it looks alright. Scabello is a company that me and my girlfriend run. I do the woodworking, she does the painting. For the varnish, I don't have any paintbrushes because I give her all the paintbrushes for the painting. Check us out on Instagram. Our website. If you want a Scabello product, DM us on Instagram. So I'm going to use my finger to varnish it. Varnish, like. I'm done. But there we are. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching me make a chopping board. Open up Instagram, type in Scabello, SKABELLO _, follow it, and take it easy.